Okay. Kind of like the last, not the last episode, the episode after that. And since I'm already running out of ideas, we might as well try and see what the strongest region in CK2 is. Can't be that hard, right? Oh, wait. I'm missing something again. Ah, yes. How could I forget? Hmm. No. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Let's bring it up a little bit, people. There we go. So, let's look across the map. Ignore the big blue blob, that is me. So this won't be a complete list. But I think you'll be pretty darn close. From my understanding, this region is fairly powerful, but usually it's broken up into many smaller states that don't usually unify. So we're going to cancel them out. So that leaves us with a few different power blocks. The Byzantines, Taglabids, Roslavel, and, well, anywhere else? I mean, sure, we can throw in Bashkiria as well. No reason not to, I mean, they're huge. And sure, Siad, keep it 4, like last time. And just for a reference, this is the world that I have been playing in on my CK2 series. So you may want to see that if you want to understand why the Taglabids are in charge instead of the Abbasids. But we're going to keep it how it is for now. So, starting with the Byzantines. Is this the strongest region in the game? Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Let's look at what it could make it strong. One, it's a unified region, all Orthodox, very powerful, very mighty. Unfortunately, though, there is no other Orthodox nations, meaning it's isolated. But how can it survive being isolated? How about we go down further? Culture. As we understood, culture may just be the biggest weakness in many different regions. Looking at you, Isles. So, maybe it is actually the reason why they are strong is because they're all Greek, and there is no infighting. Sure, there is a lot of Armenian territory over here, but how far can that seriously bring them down? An Armenian is a part of the Byzantine culture group. Well, Georgians also, but wait, is it actually? Or is it? It might not be. Either way, Georgian is fairly interesting. Where? Here, I know where to find this one. East African. So I think it is in the Byzantine. Yes, it is a part of the Byzantine outlet. So they are actually friends with each other. And since they only have friends, it's kind of hard to make enemies. Now, compared to this, the Taglabids. They are by far the most powerful nation, and they formed after the aftermath of the Abbasids. So technically, they are not the Abbasids, but they did inherit the empire. What makes them strong, powerful, and mighty? Well, I did forget about one thing on the Byzantines. What inheritance do they have? Even though I don't think it's going to matter. The Byzantines have imperial elective, so they get to choose whoever they want to be king, or emperor, or Basileus in their case. Let's check religion. Well, we actually do have some infighting in the Sunni court. Monophysites and Miaphysites. We got some Nestorians, we got some Orthodox, we got some Buddhists, a bunch of different people pretty much everywhere, really. Seemingly pretty disunited, aren't you, Taglabids? Let's check cultures. Well, first big issue. Nubians down here in the south, and Balochi, Afghan, Persian, Kurdish. Of course, how far are these actually going to bring down the Bedouin realm is very debatable. But we do know that it will be hurting them since culture seems to play a big role in how things collapse based off the last episode. So, is it bad to say that the Taglabids may not hold the best position? Possibly. I mean, the Abbasids are known for collapsing at times in certain games, and they even collapse in this game. And who's to say the Taglabids won't face the same fate? I would put Tibet in, but they're already collapsing, so they're definitely not the strongest. Bashkiria, on one hand, very strong, very mighty, very new though. They popped up after the fall of Khazaria, not too long lasting. They are an empire title, such as the last two, but culture-wise, they may have some issues. To be honest, they may not have that many issues. They are Pecheneg, and they hold Komi and Nenet territory, but the majority of their realm is Pecheneg, unlike the Abbasids, who do hold a lot of Bedouin, but all at the same time, a lot of this and a lot of this don't really belong to them. So maybe Bashkiria is in a better position, or this region as a whole, largely the same culture, and possibly able to mount a great resistance. Hmm, we'll see. What is their religion? Just Tangri. It's interesting. All three of these so far have had different religions. So maybe religion is not going to be in play. We can assume that. Culture, maybe United Culture could do it, but that doesn't explain why the Abbasids were so powerful. Or maybe now that they've lost this region here, that was a very much Bedouin and Berber, maybe they will have issues. Can't throw it off the table. But let's see. One last thing. Inheritance. Nomad succession. Hmm. 3 different inheritance laws. That doesn't mean anything then. What can we assume that makes a powerful region? Culture is looking like it could be a uniting factor, allowing people to agree against a greater cause, or at least like each other more than the other people around them. Not the worst idea of all time. Let's look at one thing that I didn't take into factor last time. That empires can last longer than nations that are not empires, since we are looking for the most powerful region. Now, this is the empire map mode. So in theory, a nation that doesn't need to expand very much to form an empire, such as Germany in this universe, would have a very easy time consolidating and becoming powerful, and also keeping the realm united. But there is one issue. There are 2 nations here that already have an empire at the beginning of the game, and that leaves them pretty stable. But then we have 2 that don't. It's a coin flip then. Well, how easy is it for them to form an empire? Neither of them actually have empires that are formable. They come out through events, from what I understand, which basically means that they become very stable for absolutely no reason at all, besides that they do exist. So they get to survive very easily at that. But Bashkiria is very simple, very new. I won't get into them very much. Bruslavel. They may just be the outlier in terms of culture. They are a hot mess. They hold culture of many different regions, and they have expanded through many different territories. They are Prussian, which is this light gray here. They're considered Baltic, but the majority of their land is East Slavic, Magyar, and all sorts of other things. Illyrian. So culture definitely does not play a role into them surviving, especially since they formed up in this region and not really this region. So there you go. Culture may not play that big of a role. Of course, 3 out of the 4 or 2 out of the 4 isn't a bad deal. And from what we understand from the last episode, the Slavians hold a Gavelkind succession law. So boom, more linking that succession has nothing to do with being powerful. Or at least united. I mean, I haven't looked at this, but Nomad, Icta, Imperial, Tribal. What is this? I assume that you are Imperial. You are Imperial. Why all of a sudden are you declaring that you are not? Give me a moment here. Why are all the rest of you feudal? You're feudal. I don't understand this. Okay, everyone else is feudal except for these guys? Who are you? You're tribal. Okay. Okay. Apparently, imperial is not the correct system. Well, it don't matter either way. So government has nothing to do with it. Inheritance has nothing to do with it. Culture is on the fence, but all of them are empires. The one thing that unites them all. Empire. The ambition to conquer. Is that what keeps them strong? Is that why they're so powerful in these regions? If so, then we could already assume that these two regions are not that powerful. Even though it was very easy to form an empire out here just by existing, maybe it's easier to have it from the start. The Byzantines and the Abbasids/Taghlabids started this way. With imperial ambition, it is obvious that they are the strongest. But which nation overall is stronger? The Byzantines or the Abbasids? At the start of the game, the Abbasids come out right off the bat with huge amounts of troops. Power and power and power. But for some reason, they never overwhelm the Byzantines. No matter how hard they try, I very rarely find a game that the Byzantines fail. But it seems like the Abbasids always fail. So even though empire is the #1 cause for success, maybe culture is their eventual downfall. Which then would make me believe, unlike the last one where I left it vague, there's only one true winner. And that is the Byzantines. The Byzantines hold the most powerful region, which would be, if I click this neat little button, that only highlighted that. Ew. Uh-oh. They're a part of two different regions. What? Ooh. Okay, so technically it would be two different regions. Southern Europe, or no. Southeast Europe and Asia Minor hold two, or technically the best region. But I would give it to Eastern Europe because it is Greek that we're looking at. And of course, the Byzantines probably can expand easier into the Balkan region than this. So technically, East Europe or Southeast Europe, is by far the easiest area to expand into and have the most successful empire at the start of the game. Of course, I am using AI logic. Please don't say, oh, but it's so easy to unite Britain. Well, that's because the AI is dumb, and they don't understand that cultures make people angry. So no duh, you can deform that pretty easily. But for the AI, the Byzantines are the best. Simply because they're in the best position, they are unified culturally, and they have the best, highest form of government. Empire. And so we crown the winner. Congratulations, Byzantium. You are the winner.